I'm here with Kevin. He's driving me around and showing me this place via golf cart, because this thing is too large to see. Yeah, that's a news station right there. Too large to see. Hey, what's going on? That's dude, one of the dudes that's got the shirts. It's pretty awesome. Anyways, how long you been driving? Well, you say you're not driving anymore, but when did you start driving?
I started driving back in 82 to about 87, and then just got off the road and found something more local.
So tell us about the 80s, trucking back in the 80s.
Was beautiful. People were courteous, no flip-flops, people dressed for professionalism, and just, it was fun to drive truck.
Yeah. So, like, say like truck stops, for instance, what's difference between truck stops now and then?
Oh, truck stops then, you had to make a beeline for the phone. You didn't have the cell phone, and sometimes you'd have 5, 6 guys at the phone, get done getting a hold of your dispatch or something, and get in, sit down, get a nice hot home-cooked meal, and it was fun and enjoyable. No ELDs. You're able to take your time, and it was really, really fun.
I kind of caught the tail end of that, you know, 2002. Cell phones were around, but they weren't like they are now. But yeah, you go into a Flying J, they had those closets, and then you know, you go into a Petro or a TA, you had those little cubicles, and no phone call was private unless you got in those little closets. But for the most part, you heard everyone's conversations with their wives or dispatcher or whatever it was. So like the trucks compared to now.
Oh, the difference. There was no air ride suspension. Everything was spring, and I mean, you bounced. You had an air ride seat, and you wanted your GPS. Reach back in the sleeper, grab your atlas, and figure out what page where you're at to figure out where you're going, and just try and make the best of it.
Yeah. So as far as the drivers, are the difference between the drivers back then and now?
They were professional, courteous. I mean, they dressed jeans, no sweatpants. They were dressed like they were professional drivers, and just courteous and nice to get along with.
And they spoke English, right?
They spoke English. Yep, you were far and few to find a foreigner out there.
And here's the deal, there was a lot of Hispanics in there too, right? Like, we're not hating on Hispanics or any nationality, but it's just like, that was the thing, you have to know English. You still do. And I think my biggest complaint is the DOT, you know, allowing that to slide. You know, they're there to enforce the rules, and when they don't do it, then we got issues, because those rules are there. But they're just, I don't know, like, we've got a shop, and they have drivers that come in there. They're like on I-40. They're the TRC shop there in Oklahoma City, and on I-40 there's just so many people that can't speak English coming from California, and they have to have a translator to go speak to the guy at the shop. And it's just that shouldn't be happening. As a driver, you're supposed to know it. I not only know it, but speak it.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to have somebody interpret or talk for you. You know, you can't speak the language, get the hell out.
So how long you been coming to this show?
I've been coming to this show for at least 20 years.
20 years. This thing's the 24th year.
24th.
And I'm a late bloomer because this is my first one up here, but this will definitely not be my last, because I really enjoy this environment. This is just the first day. Tomorrow, I know for a fact, you know, all the kids will be out of school, and they got the tractor pull, which is like the main event up here. And I'm gonna look at these trees, man. Goodness gracious. Those trees are hundreds of years old. But anyway, Bonehead Truckers, what's going on? And so yeah, we're enjoying it. A lot of good people up here, man.
Yeah, it's all good people here.
Not that there's bad people at other truck shows, but definitely like you feel that camaraderie definitely that you see, that you used to see maybe back in your day.
Yep.
Right, when you started, that camaraderie, you used to get guys sitting around their trucks just like that, you know, and yelling at you. Of course, you know, we didn't have Bonehead Truckers in 1985. 1985, I was 6 years old. Yeah, but anyways, I was doing 6 years old stuff. But anyway, but this is definitely a blast from the past. Like, look at this. And I love the shows. I love Mid-America, but this one is definitely different than all those corporate shows, you know. And I still love those, but it's just like, this is a real truck show. So anyway, any last thoughts? Anything you want to spread to any new or any suggestion, anything you want to say to the audience here?
Well, back in the day, if there was a car broke down, it was a trucker that pulled over to help him, or if you were broke
Even
down,
a car.
another trucker would
hang on, look at auto car. Hardly ever see an auto car. Look at that. I didn't even see that earlier. That must have came through here earlier. Hardly ever see auto cars, man. That's cool. But yeah, like back, you say back in the day, people pulled over for cars.
Yep.
If they're, because we didn't have these old cell phones right here.
No.
So when you're stranded, you're stranded. You didn't have pay phones at every mile marker, you know. But there were some pay phones like out there on the road.
There were some pay phones, but it's, you know, 5, 6, 8 miles down the road.
Yeah, you know. I remember as a kid, I'll tell you a story. Me and my mom, this was around 85. Me and my mom, we were on a trip from Oklahoma to Texas, and my mom had a CB radio in her car. She had like a Pontiac, and you know, we're big radio nerds anyway, but she had a CB in there, and we were on channel 19, and we were talking to drivers and stuff, because you didn't have satellite radio, or you're listening to a podcast on your phone. And so we're talking to drivers and stuff, and the cars that have them back in the day. And I got diarrhea. I was upset stomach, and so we had to go pull off there in Gainesville, Texas. And this driver who she was talking to pulled over with us, not to, well, you know, do anything to a single mom, but it's just like, hey, I got Pepto-Bismol. You know, if your son needs to, that was like my first Pepto-Bismol, but it was a driver, had overalls on, I remember, and that was my first interaction with the truck driver. He wasn't trying to get all flirty with my mom. He was like legitimately trying to help. So, but that's, obviously you don't see any of that here, anywhere in the world now. I mean, goodness gracious. So you're almost scared to pull over or anything like that. So, anyways, I appreciate you taking me around and doing this
I enjoyed this.
This is awesome. We're going to be here today, tomorrow. Tomorrow's the main event. More people here. This is Friday, and it's just, I'm in amazement of the beautiful trucks, old trucks. And most of these are all working trucks. They're not like, some of them are show trucks. They're just for show, but it's, you know, like you'll see that like at the big Mid-America truck show. A lot of them are just show trucks, and that's all they do.
I gotta check this one out over here. This guy was in the truck pull last year. An old GMC cab over with a camper on the back.
Oh wow, that was in a.
He was in the truck pull last year.
That's neat. That's neat that thing will do it in the truck pull.
Yep,
that's cool.
Homemade.
Homemade. Oh yeah, with all that. Yeah. I wonder what year model that is. Does it show it on the thing?
Should be up on the...
where is it at? Where
73.
Is it? 73.
318 Detroit in there. Just a screamer.
Man. You just don't see those at the corporate shows. You just don't do it. Anyways, guys, appreciate you guys watching this video, and stay tuned for more videos.
And tonight they have, when it gets dark, they got the guys light the trucks up, and
Oh man, gotta
it's
see
Christmas. You will enjoy it.
that. Gotta see that.
That is cool.